When passion and desire metamorphoses in its manifestation, they then emerge into a powerful result, albeit positively or negatively. Friends and family, Spill the Word welcomes you to the second episode. And Spill the Word has a message for deliverance unto you. My title for today in Spill the Word is Get Hot and Get Going. Are you familiar with the phrase sitting on the fence? I have a friend. I also deem him as a big brother, mentor figure, and he has this saying: if you don't have any place else to go, then go home. The reason why he said that is because of the lifestyle that he had and myself. Although we never ran the streets together, but our background is very similar. He used drugs, alcohols, dealt with women, so that I. So to do those things, it involves running the streets, more so in the streets as opposed to being home. And running those streets led to more trouble, more negativity, sitting on the fence. The thing about sitting on the fence, you have to consider it from a metaphorical perspective. Sitting on the fence, see yourself or someone who is sitting on the fence, but on either side of the fence, there is a negative side and a positive side. At some point, you are expected to come down off the fence, and you will come down off the fence. It's just a matter of what side, or should I say, which side of the fence you shall come down. And I think more about it from a metaphorical perspective, as well as I lived that life. But here's the hit to it all. When I made the negative decisions, that was easier for me. I knew exactly what I wanted to do, how I wanted to do it. And because I used drugs for 29 years, mainly crack cocaine, that was an easier decision for me. It's exactly what I wanted to do. And I was comfortable. I was familiar with the lifestyle. Friends and family, I also want to tell you that in this episode of Spiel the Word, I want to encourage you to make positive decisions. For we all have choices, but it is about making positive decisions. As we discuss more about get hot and get going, as long as you And as long as I was sitting on the fence, that means I wasn't going anywhere because I wasn't hot for anything, be it negatively or positively. In the book of Revelations, chapter 3, at verses 15 and 16, coming from the new, not the New King James, my apologies, coming from the King James Bible. And it reads, I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. I would thou wert cold or hot. Verse 16 says, so then, because thou art lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth. Excuse me. Get hot and get going. So Yeshua was talking to the church of Laodicea. Laodicea, we're talking about cold water and sometimes spiced hot water. The cold water was preferably for drinking, and the hot water was for bathing. But Laodicea lacked a natural water supply, piped in from hot springs 6 miles to the south. And then there was a procured cold water coming in from the mountains. So by the time they reached Laodicea, then it became lukewarm. Perhaps you're thinking, well, okay, so they could have warmed their water, or I should say, we could have heated their water. They also had hot waters that were local, as well as in contrast to a hot water that was nearby Hierapolis. How that's a tongue twister for me. Hierapolis. But Yeshua used that to make a point, and it was a metaphorical point that he was making. He said to them, cold water you had use for, which was for drinking, and then the hot water that you had use for, it was for bathing. But the lukewarm water you have no use for. And at the same time, that's exactly how I see you, as lukewarm, and I have no use for you. So that's why when he says, I will spew you out of my mouth, which simply means I will spit you out of my mouth because you are useless to me. You see, lukewarm is not a good thing. I know sometimes we may not want the water to be too hot. We may not prefer for the water to be too cold, so we have a medium. But when it comes to things in particular, we need to be either hot or cold, especially when it comes to our life, when it comes to the things that we want to have. There has to be either you are hot for it or you are cold for it. But if you are lukewarm for anything to enhance your life, lukewarm will never get it for you. Sitting on the fence, as I spoke on earlier, is an example of being lukewarm. Why? Because just sitting on the fence, doing nothing. Choose either negatively or positively. But my encouragement to you is for you to choose all things positively, because this is about you getting hot and getting going. Spiel the word. And family and friends, how about you hit the like sign, thumbs up? Also, I have a email address for comments, questions, concerns. EKLions 6662 at gmail.com. But if it's not 6662, then it is 6266. This is new for me, at gmail.com. EKLions 66 or 6266. I think I just screwed that up. So let me try this again, okay? Have patience for me. My email address is eklions6266 at gmail.com. And if that is incorrect, please let me know so I can correct it. But once again, we are talking about get hot and get ready in this episode of Spiel the Word. And as I was just talking about, the example of lukewarm is you sitting on the fence, me sitting on the fence because of not having made a decision. When Jesus Christ was letting them know that they were of no use to him, he was disappointed in them as the church of Laodicea. Being lukewarm simply means I can't count on you. Because you have not made a decision. I don't know which way you're going to go. You're playing the middle. Choose a side. Either when we choose negatively, then we have made a decision to go after the someone or something, whatever it is, or who it is, who that it is may be. From a positive perspective, it's the same process. We have made a decision to do something positively, be it for or with someone, or it's about something, but the decision has been made. And again, let me encourage you to do the positive thing. And that's what Yeshua wanted out of the church of Laodicea. He didn't want to have to spew the church out of his mouth. In this episode of Spiel the Word, the discussion that you and I will have is about passion and desire, how passion and desire is connected to get hot and get going, because you have to have the two of them together in order to get hot and get going. Let's consider the word passion. The definition is strong and barely controllable emotion. This day and time, the word passion is always spoken out of our mouths. And I also believe that the word passion is many times misunderstood because of lack of understanding exactly what passion is all about. Having a strong and your strong and barely controllable emotions. Consider that. You can't contain yourself. You're like, oh man, I guess I have to go do this thing. And I promise you, it's going to be either negatively or positively, but you have to go do it. You can't hold it any longer. The other word is desire. By definition, it is a strong feeling of wanting to have something or wishing for something else to happen. The desire is now you know exactly what it is you want to do. Perhaps you know exactly who you want in your life. And because you have a desire, and now along with your passion, and let me go back to passion for a quick second. To me, passion is lukewarm. I strongly believe that we all have passion. It is innate. But passion is lukewarm because passion needs something else to either ignite or have the something else to ignite the passion. So when passion and desire comes together, they will ignite one another. See, I become barely I can't my emotions are strong and barely uncontrollable for what I desire, whatever that thing is or who that someone is in my life. I gotta have it. I gotta have her. I gotta, which is my wife, because that's who I gotta have. That's it. That's all. But I'm just making a great example for you or greater understanding for you to really get where I am coming from. Passion and desire is the key to you and I getting hot and getting going because now there has to be that fire. We don't want to be lukewarm, thinking that being lukewarm that we are going to achieve what needs to be achieved in our lives. It is only when those two come together. And that's what Yeshua wanted out of the church of Laodicea. He wanted them to get hot and to get going. He wants you and I to get hot and to get going, not for negative things in our lives, not for folks that will bring negativity into our lives, but he wants you and I to get positive with people who could bring positivity in our lives, as well as we are doing the same for others. Because our sole purpose is, especially as children of our Elohim, our Father who is Yahweh, is to glorify Him. That is our sole purpose while existing in this land called earth. Glorify Him. Doing the things that are according to His word. So get hot and get going. When I was living the lifestyle, enjoying using drugs, mainly crack cocaine, which was a negative thing in my life. But I made a decision. I wasn't sitting on the fence. Although it turned out to be of not being good for me, today I am 10 years clean. I no longer desire using crack cocaine and any other drug. I despise crack cocaine along with the other drugs. What I am about are things that will help me achieve the things that I need to achieve according to the purpose of Yahweh. I really focus on doing things that He will have me to do, working on not committing sins in my life. Oh, it is a task, but I am putting forth the effort. And when I do commit a sin, I quickly ask Him to forgive me of my sin, as well as plurally sins. So get hot and get going. No longer allowing yourself to be that man or woman who is sitting on the fence. And along with it, as I talk about sitting on the fence, the many times that experience, how it changed. I said previously that a dear friend of mine used to say, if you don't have any place else to go, go home. True, because now I spend more time at home than in the streets. Staying at home keeps me out of a lot of trouble. Yeah, sometimes I may become a little bored sitting at home, but I do now. I appreciate being home more than being in the streets. I have come to the realization that it's just a negative thing. Get hot and get going. Sitting on the fence. Here's where it became challenging for me while sitting on the fence. When I look back in on my previous lifestyle, I made a decision to live in that manner. The decision was made. It was a easier lifestyle that I had chosen because I was familiar, yet more importantly, I fell in love with crack cocaine. That was a desire for me. I wanted that euphoric feeling of being high of crack cocaine. Today, as I said earlier, I no longer desire it. Sitting on the fence then became challenging in this manner. Which side am I going to come down on? The negative side? I knew what the negativities were about. It was a familiar lifestyle. I knew what that feeling was all about. I knew all the things that it entailed. You see, I had a desire, but not necessarily the passion for it anymore. Lukewarm. I didn't, no, no, no. But then I became afraid to make a move. I sat on the fence too long at times. When you sit on the fence too long, it equals out to be a negative thing. Why? It means that you have done nothing. It means that you have procrastinated. Procrastination is never a good thing. I decided to come down off the fence by choosing the positive side. So far, so great. I am still on the positive side after coming down off of the fence. What about you? I remember years ago, this is going to connect. Trying not to rant, this is going to connect. I had went to visit my father in North Carolina. I was using drugs, but while there, I was trying to uphold this this way about me which says I don't do anything, I don't use drugs, you know, wasn't trying to portray the negativities of that lifestyle, but more so, hey, I'm a clean guy, I'm a good guy. Are you following me? And I was watching my dad. He was with a couple of friends of his. They were twisting up their weed in a Philly blunt. And I was like, wow, I gotta act like I'm not interested. I don't do that. And as they were doing their thing, getting it ready to smoke, my father then passed the joint to me, and I said, "Nah, I don't use drugs." And he laughed. He said, "Oh yeah, hmm, okay." And then he asked, "So what are you doing?" And I said, "Nothing." And then he went on to say, "Hmm, you're doing something because everyone have a vice." And I never forgot that because that's true. You may not have experienced substance use before. Any type of drugs of substance may not be your thing, but is it stealing? Is it lying? Is it fornicating? I mean, the list goes on. Is it overeating? The list truly goes on. We all have vices. So, what is yours? And what about that vice that is yours that now you are ready to make change in your life and you are sitting on the fence contemplating between coming down on the negative side of the fence or the positive side of the fence? And if you are at that point in your life, choose the positive side. Come down off the fence. Do not be lukewarm. Because if you're lukewarm, that means you are sitting on the fence and you are no good to yourself and no one else. And you're definitely isn't any good to your Father who is in heaven. And I really like to say, who is above the heavenly realms, but he says he's everywhere, high and low. And being on that fence, having made a decision to be on the positive side, life is a lot more simpler for me, yet better. Not experiencing wow, that miserable lifestyle of such negativities that involve the usage of drugs. Again, I don't know what your vices are. You do. You know what the misery it entails. Come out of the lifestyle. Make a change for the better. Passion and desire. Figure out what you are passionate about by finding out what your desires are. So what do you want to do? When passion and desire metamorphosis. Metamorphosis is about transforming into a, let me slow that back that up. It's about transforming from an immature state or stage into an adult state or stage. And then the manifestation is about, okay, now I see what you have become. It's now a reality that immature into adult stage or state has become a reality. Now I see your adulthood because it has become manifested. And now here comes what emerge is about. For years, I thought emerge was about coming together. But emerge is about pulling away, going a different way. So once you become an adult, no longer being immature from the negativity things that were in your life, and you have matured from those negative things, and you are now an adult making adult decisions, that's what become manifested due to your adulthood. Not only has it become something to see from a manifestation mode, now you have gotten away from what was negative in your life. You have moved on. You have taken off because it's no longer of interest in you. You just have to figure out the vice or vices. Do you still want to involve yourself in those things, in that lifestyle? Do not be afraid of your change or changes when you want to go forward. You have to go forward. You have to leave the old things, the old you behind. Because whatever you do, be it negatively or positively, when you come off that fence, moving from a lukewarm stage, now you have become hot for something. And once you become hot for something or someone, you will get going. You will seek to achieve whatever the thing is or who is that you want in your life. And I am encouraging you to seek Yeshua HaMashiach, his word. Allow his word to encourage you to do the things that he is commanding you to do. But you have to get hot and then get going. Spill the word. Family and friends, again, please hit the like sign. And I look forward to seeing you soon in the next episode. Let us pray. Our Father who is in heaven, mighty is your name. Mighty you are. Your word is everlasting. Your word never change. Your word is awesome and beautiful. Your word is healing. It is love, joy, it is mercy, it is all knowing, everywhere at all times, and it is all powerful. Your word is long suffering. Your word is generosity and self control. I pray that these things, your attributes, we will add to our lives. We will seek you for these things that represent you to make better of our lives because we want to do it according to your word. In the mighty name of Yeshua HaMashiach. And I also ask that you forgive us of our sins. Let us be cleansed. Let us be forgiven by you. In the mighty name of Yeshua HaMashiach. And again, my final thing that I will say is EK Lyons 6266 at email at gmail.com. I'm going to get that part together, okay? Bear with me. Encourage me to encourage you. Spill the word. Look forward to seeing you soon. And the blessings of Yahweh be smeared all over you. Amen.